Hi, folks, and welcome again to the Rondane Hollar Report. Thanks so much for joining us. I know it's been several months, a lot has happened, but this is now the fourth show of the Rondane Hollar Report, and I'm very excited to have you join us. A little friendly reminder, please consider paying me for my work. I have a Venmo account. And also subscribe to the channel and click notifications so you get new videos and new episodes of the Rondane Hollar Report on YouTube. And you can follow me on Instagram as well. So today, I'm here with a lovely lady joining me today for a great interview. She's a local title holder for the Miss New Jersey organization, and she hopes to one day be on the Miss America stage. I got to watch her TED Talk in preparation for this, and I have some amazing things I want to ask her. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to present to you the local title holder for the Miss New Jersey organization, Miss Southern Maritime, Angelique Cauterucci. Did I get your last name correct?
Yes, you did. Good job. A lot of people say that wrong.
I'm so glad. Hi there.
Hello. I'm so excited to be on today, and I'm very thankful for this opportunity, and I can't wait to share all my stories with all of you today.
Yes, I'm looking forward to hearing from you, get to know who Angelique Cauterucci is. So why do we say we get started and start by telling my audience who you are?
Yeah. So, as he already said, I'm Miss Southern Maritime 2027. I will be competing for the title of Miss New Jersey next June. So I've been a part of the Miss America opportunity as a teen title holder for 5 years, and now this is my second year competing for Miss New Jersey. I'm also an NCAA acrobatics and tumbling college athlete, and that's a new emerging sport with the NCAA, and it is a mix of acrobatics, cheerleading, gymnastics, and so many more things combined. So I'd love to talk more about that. I'm going to my senior year at St. Leo University, where I'm studying a 3+1 MBA program. So I'm getting my undergrad and my master's in 4 years instead of 6, and I'm very thankful for that. And on top of it all, what my community service initiative is and what my nonprofit is that I love so much is called You Define Beauty, and it's designed to promote positive body image and high self-esteem.
Terrific. That's very, very nice. So what do you plan to do career-wise? Because you already mentioned you're getting an MBA and also a BBA. So tell me about what you're planning on doing career-wise.
So currently I'm studying marketing, and then after my master's, I want to be a marketing agent in New York City for a few years. And then after that, I want to open an all-women's gym to grow their physical, mental, and emotional health. So it's turning my nonprofit organization into a real business later in life.
That's wonderful. Good for you. So when do you start your journey in the Miss America organization?
When I was 12 years old. And back then you could compete when you're 12. And it was actually hilarious because it was my mom, when I was 10 years old, that brought me to Miss America. And that was originally in New Jersey at that time.
Yes.
And supposedly I said to her that I want to be on that Miss America stage one day. So right when I turned 12, she put me in my first competition. I had zero confidence in myself. I was very shy, and I did not know if I was going to like competing. And then I fell in love with that opportunity, and I found my passion and my purpose. And I always say if it wasn't for the Miss America opportunity, I wouldn't have my nonprofit that I have today. And I competed as a teen for 5 years. I placed in the top 5 as a teen 4 out of my 5 years. And then at Miss New Jersey last year, I was the youngest contestant. Currently, I'm still 19 years old, and I placed in the top 10. And I was very proud of myself because your first year competing, that's really scary.
Yes.
And my goal was to make it in the top 10, and I did. And I can't wait to come back even stronger this year.
That's wonderful. That's good for you, Angie. I'm very, very proud that seeing this level of confidence in you, saying that I can do this. I can make something of myself, and to make it the top 10 that young, that's very, very impressive, and I'm very, very proud of you. So tell me about your community service initiative, if I may ask you, your CSI.
Yes. It is called You Define Beauty. And the background story from it all is when I was 9 years old, I tried out for the USA Gymnastics team.
Yes.
And told me that I did not have the right body type. and I was 10 pounds over their weight limit. And I couldn't even show my skills. They said my trial was done because of how much I weighed. And I had two options. I could give up on my dream or find another way. And that's exactly what I did. I found another way. So when every other girl was just training 2 hours a day, I was on the side training 4 hours every single day. And I gained so much confidence in myself to allow myself to know that it didn't matter what body type I had. It all mattered about the confidence and the skills that I can achieve. And they finally gave me an opportunity, and I was a USA gymnast for 7 years. But what a lot of people don't tell you behind it all is, yes, you're on the team, but when I didn't look like everyone around me, it was really hard on my mental health. So when I was 14 years old, I ended up struggling with an eating disorder.
Yes.
Where I lost over 45 pounds in the span of 2 months, and I was lost all my hope, and I didn't know where to go because I didn't have any resources. And I told myself then, when I recovered, that I want to be the role model that I once needed. So now with the Crown and Sash and how it bloomed with my nonprofit, I have reached over 9,000 students on my school tour already. I have over 80,000 followers on social media, where I also have a podcast called You Define Beauty, where I bring on new guests every month to talk about their mental health struggles and what tools help them, because you and I might not use the same tools to cope, and there's so many out there, so why not use and make a platform for all of that? And I'm thankful at my university I made it into a club there. So we hosted a mental health walk for the last 2 years, and last year we had over 900 students there. And that really allowed me to realize that mental health, we all need to talk about it, especially at the collegiate level as well. So I can't wait to continue that. And I also have a scholarship that I just started 2 years ago too where I graduated high school.
Yes.
And it's actually, yes, it's crazy because the young woman that just won a couple months ago, she is going to be on my podcast for my next episode, sharing her story. So I'm so excited for that.
Good for you. That's wonderful. And tell the folks a little bit more about the nonprofit. You Define Beauty.
Yes. On top of how many students I've reached, I also have national partnerships with the National Alliance on Mental Illness, Out of the Darkness Walks for Suicide Prevention, Relay for Lives, and now a new one is Morgan's Message.
Yes.
What Morgan's Message is for collegiate athletes and also now for high school students as well. It is allowing them to have the mental health resources, so I'm thankful that I'm now a full ambassador for them.
Yep.
So anywhere I go for high school levels or even going into different schools, I can say that too and give the resources that I have on top of Morgan's Message. So I'm thankful. I want to reach over 20,000 students this year. I know it sounds like a lot, but I know I can do it because before Miss New Jersey, I had a school tour, and that was only a month and a half long, and I met with over 2,000 students just in that month and a half. So if I can do that all year round, I'm so excited for what's going to happen this year.
That's wonderful, Angie. Good for you. And also, obviously, you competed in the Miss New Jersey stage, and you recently got your new local title. So tell the folks about your talent.
It is definitely different what you usually see on stage. I am a contortionist / acrobatics. That's what I do on stage. And it's actually crazy because growing up as a USA gymnast and now what I do in college, I do handstands on top of people. That sounds crazy, but that's exactly what I do. So on the stage, I put that all together with my gymnastics background, and I use handrails as well, so I can show all the handstands and all the different moves I can do on there. So it's definitely a show. I love it so much, and I've been doing it for so long because when I was a gymnast my whole life, starting in the Miss America opportunity, I didn't know what I was going to do. I was going to put a balance beam on the stage, so I had to figure out something different. And during the pandemic, I ended up figuring out how to do contortion, and I fell in love with that. And then that's when I brought it to the Miss New Jersey's teen stage and now Miss New Jersey stage. Now,
you've admitted you've some struggles throughout your life. You mentioned having an eating disorder. But I wanted you to tell my followers, my audience, how have those struggles in life when you've been told no to certain opportunities And would you mind sharing my audience how do you able to overcome all those obstacles, all those struggles, all those times these people have told you no, you can't be this, you can't be that, you are not this, you're not that. Tell my audience.
Every time I talk to a student about this, and what I always had to tell myself is, it's okay if someone says no, but you're the only person that can prove them wrong. And you have the pen in your hand to write and define your own story, no one else. And this has happened multiple times in my life, what you said, growing up as a USA gymnast, and it also happened as a collegiate athlete, as a freshman. I'd love to share that story. When I walked into the door, there was almost 20 freshmen on my team. And
Right.
usually in college athletics, you do not play as a freshman. So I went up to my coach in our first meeting and I said, how am I going to play? There has to be a way. And she laughed at me and she said, oh, that's not going to happen. Only a couple of you guys are going to play. And I said, okay, give me a list of all the skills that I have to accomplish. And then by Thanksgiving, let me show you if I have all of them and we can go from there. And she said, okay. And at this time, I had to beat out 4 seniors for this spot. So every single day I worked kind of like I did when I was 9 years old. On the sign, I had all of the girls on my team
Right.
trying to help me, push me to get to that level.
Yes.
And then right when Thanksgiving came, she said, okay, Angie, go into the middle of the mat and let's see what you got. And I did the skills perfectly because I was so confident and I prepared for that moment. And then I got to compete at every single meet as a freshman, even got to travel and compete on ESPN my freshman year. And if it wasn't for myself believing in me, I wouldn't have even got to that point. And then she always shares that story because as a sophomore, I ended up becoming a captain of my team. And she says, everyone on the team needs to be as confident as you once were and how you are now, because you're the only one that can believe anything that you put your mind to.
You're absolutely right. Now, next year you're going to go back to the Miss New Jersey stage. What do you hope to inspire people with your talent and your story when you go back to the Miss New Jersey stage next year?
Allowing them to realize that it doesn't matter who you are or what you're doing, that you are enough, and a number on a scale will never define your worth. Growing up as a gymnast my whole life and then seeing that even in college athletics, it is so hard for me still to this day to not compare myself to other people's body types, because body dysmorphia, sadly, when you have it, it never truly goes away.
Right.
So you need to figure out what tools help you. And the same tools that helped me 5 years ago aren't going to maybe help me right now. And that's why I have that podcast, to figure out what other tools help me. So being on that stage, I always say, and this is exactly what I said this year, is I am not just doing this for me. I am doing it for every single student I've already touched on my school tour, allowing them to realize that any dream that they put their mind to, they can achieve it. And wearing that crown and sash, if it's a local title holder or Miss New Jersey or even maybe Miss America one day, it's not just for me. It's for all of them to realize that they can accomplish their dreams one day as well.
You're absolutely right. And now I have to ask you, who has been your biggest inspiration in your life? Who's been the biggest role model that you have looked up to for years?
My mom. And the reason being is, first, she worked on Wall Street for 21 years before having me.
Yes.
That is amazing by itself. Look at her go. And one day, that's why I want to work in the city too. So maybe she can help me with that later. But on top of it all, she loves the Miss America opportunity.
Yeah.
And she has been my biggest supporter. Don't tell her, anybody listening to this, don't tell her, but she used to compete back in the day, okay? A few years, and she said her talent wasn't that strong. So right when my sister and I became the age to compete, she put us both in it, and I ended up falling in love with it. And she has been my biggest role model through it all. When I started, when I didn't have a lot of confidence in myself, and I didn't know what my community service initiative should be, she was the person that said, why don't you talk about growing up as a USA gymnast and what the hardships of your body type and how that was for you. And at first I was really nervous because I thought I was the only one struggling with that. Then to realize I am not the only one struggling with that. There are so many people that are struggling with the same thing. And if it wasn't for her pushing me and allowing me to share my story, I would not be who I am today and find my passion in doing what I love.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Here you are, a beautiful woman like yourself, now have another title under your belt and looking to eventually make it to the national stage where you can shine bright and hopefully become a national title holder, so you can use that platform to make a big difference across the country. And that's something I really hope works out for you. And I feel like you're already working towards making that impact and making a big difference. Now, besides your mom, by the way, hi mom, by the way, who has been the biggest supporter besides your mom in your life?
Biggest supporter?
Biggest supporter besides your mom.
Oh my gosh, my best friend. And it's actually crazy because I met her 2 years ago and it was at freshman orientation in college.
Yes.
And we both went there solo, and it's actually hilarious because I was just trying to talk to anybody, right? Because, when you're a freshman in college, you're trying to make friends.
Yes.
So she turned around and we started talking, and then we became best friends since. And I remember the first day that we hung out, she let me talk about Miss America for hours and hours, and I knew she was going to be my best friend at that moment because she knew how much it meant to me and how passionate I was about this big part of my life that will forever be in it. And she lives in Florida, so sadly she couldn't come to my locals, but she was watching for Miss New Jersey, and she is just always keeping everyone updated with everything. Her family loves everything with Miss America. And on top of it all, again, I go to school in Florida. I don't know if I mentioned that before. So with all of my gymnastics games or acrobatics and tumbling games, they come. Her whole family comes and supports me. And I'm very thankful for that because I come from a huge Italian family. And
yep.
I love the big support. They came to watch me for Miss New Jersey as well. And it's just amazing that I found a family as well in Florida.
I've always loved Italian families. They're such a tight-knit group, and the culture is beautiful. The food is amazing. I would love to visit Italy one day. I'm already putting it at the top of my list of countries to travel. So.
Yes, I just went there. I studied abroad.
Yes.
For a month right after Miss New Jersey. That was crazy, and I was very thankful for that opportunity. I knew if I was going to study abroad, I had to do it in Italy because I needed to learn more about my culture, and I'm so glad that I did. What helped me find my purpose and allowed me to understand what that was sharing my story for the first time. And that was when I was, I believe, 14 years old, right after I was struggling. And a couple months later, when I was recovering, I was in it was in 8th grade. I took a public speaking class.
Yes.
And we had to talk about something that you were struggling with, and I picked my eating disorder journey. And I didn't know, that was my first time really talking about it. Yes, I talked about it with Miss America.
Yes.
But win my local title at that time. But this was my first time talking to students my age about it. And after I did my speech, the person and my teacher, everyone was like, you need to share this more. Like, this is a great story. And I was really scared, but she said, we're actually doing something at the middle school, and you're all sharing your stories about mental health so you can help the next generation realize that they can reach out and talk to someone too.
Yes.
And I was really scared, but I said yes, and I did it for the first time. But what was actually crazy about that experience was, yes, we got to share our stories, but then after that, we could be a little counselor for the day.
Yes.
So what that means is all these students could sign up to talk to you with an actual counselor and you, because it allows you to form relationships, because everyone always says that it's easier to talk to someone your age.
Right.
And it definitely worked. There was over 60 students that wanted to come and talk to me and share their stories. And what I realized at that moment, I knew that this is going to be such a passion for me, because that's when I realized that I was not the only one struggling with this. And that's when I started You Define Beauty. A year later, I turned it into a nonprofit organization. I'm going on to my 5th year as a nonprofit now. And to me, it really doesn't matter how many students I reach. I'm thankful for how many I did, but it really matters about those in-person connections. If I could allow someone to realize that they are enough, that's exactly why I'm doing this.
Yeah, that is beautiful. Very, very nice. Very, very nice. Good for you, Angie. Now, as you know, our current Miss America, Cassie Donegan, has been our Miss America for the last year, and she's about to abdicate her crown. From your perspective, tell me about your impression of Cassie, not as Miss America, but as her as the person.
She's so kind and outgoing, and she does it her way. And that's what I love, because it's so hard when you see a girl with a crown and sash from an outside view. You see, oh, well, she just probably thinks about what she looks like, and she models, and she doesn't go to college, this, that, the third, and that is not true. And I'm very glad that she is her own person, and she advocates for exactly who she is. She's so authentic. And that's something that helps me for former Miss Americas and her as well. It allows me to realize that I can be authentically myself as well. When I wear this crown and sash, when people meet me for the first time, I'm, yes, representing the Miss America opportunity, but I'm also a college athlete. I'm a student. I'm a founder of a nonprofit and a podcast. There's so many other things that define who I am. And I'm thankful that she gets to harp on that, and she shows what she loves online and in person. I wish I got to meet her, but sadly not. So maybe one day I can, even if it's after Miss America, because she is truly just an amazing person.
Yeah, absolutely. I got to meet her several times. I'm sure you see
Yes,
my...
I know. Oh my gosh, I'm jealous of you. Watching on social media, and a lot of people don't know, but she was actually the first runner-up at Miss New York first, and then she got to become Miss New York and then compete at Miss America. And what that showed to a lot of people is, just because you got one no does not mean that you're going to get the next no. And it was truly amazing to see how pageant works in that sense, and not to give up on yourself, because then not even 2 months later, she went to win Miss America, and that is truly incredible. Her as a person, when I watched Miss America, I got to see it in Florida last year. I was very thankful for that. And when I was watching her, all of her onstage questions, it was all about her personality and who she was beyond the crown. And that really helped me realize that, yes, I'm wearing this crown and sash, but who am I without it too? And what is my personality? What do I love? And what can I share with the world? And that's exactly what she's been doing all year with her personality, how kind, how outgoing she is, and what she loves to do. And I'm very thankful that now I could be like that as well.
Yeah, absolutely. And you shared with me before we started this conversation that you haven't met Cassie Donegan.
Mm-hmm. No, sadly not. But I know you have, and I wish.
Yeah, absolutely. Now I know you're kind of hoping once you make it to become like a successful businesswoman in New York, you'll get a chance to meet Cassie one of those times when she does like one of her New York shows or whatever post Miss America. But yes, I have met Miss America, Cassie Donegan, before she became Miss America. I got to be a part of her stand-up party, and I saw her talent when she won her local talent. I didn't meet her then, but I saw how talented she was. When I got a chance to finally meet her, I saw how authentic, kind, generous, just absolute wonderful person she is. Now, hindsight is 2020 based on handicapping or like who's going to be the next Miss America. She did go into Miss America as a bit of a disadvantage because she inherited her state title instead of actually winning the title, whereas all the others won their state titles outright. So she went into this competition with a little bit of a disadvantage, and she had to scramble to prepare her talent because everybody has solidified their own talents, and she had to find something she wanted to sing for her Miss America talent. She was going to go to Miss America to sing That's Life, but that's already been taken because the last Miss Texas danced to That's Life. And eventually she got to A Darker Shade of Blue. And I got to see her perform that twice, recently in her cabaret show and during her Miss America homecoming. I mean, seeing her all jazzed up with that jazzy, glamorous, sparkly pantsuit performing her talent. And I got to see that when I watched the Miss America show online. But she talked about how she got to that point, and in her own way, she made it her own, and she showed her personality, her authenticity, just who she is as a person and as a performer, and she delivered that brilliantly. And then when she won her preliminary awards, I said, okay, I think she has a shot to win this. Still some hurdles, but she does have a good chance to win. And then she made it to top 11. Then she did well with her onstage question. I mean, she was great in her talent, evening gowns, fitness, and then she made the top 5. She was brilliant with her final plea, and then when she made it to the top 2 with former Miss Texas, I mean, it was basically a coin flip. It could have gone either way. Was the new Miss America would have been the state title who inherited her title, or the state title who won her title outright. And when Miss America and when Cassie won her title, it's just a testament of never give up and overcoming all those disadvantages and saying that yes, I may be at a disadvantage, but that doesn't mean give up. I'm gonna keep pushing, fighting to overcome everything. And now here I am as Miss America, and I'm serving my country brilliantly. I mean, she has served her country brilliantly as Miss America. I mean, meeting all those young people, going across the country, meeting all those people, showing her authenticity. I mean, I think she might be one of the greatest. She's literally the only Miss America that I've met thus far, but might be by far the best Miss America in recent years, in my opinion. Do you agree with that assessment?
I truly believe every Miss America has so many amazing accomplishments that they've done. I really don't have a favorite one, but I truly believe that how authentic Cassie has been is really a good testament to show every young girl that they can be themselves in or out of the Miss America opportunity.
Yes. Now it's time for a quick lightning round. A quick 7 questions. Okay. And I think you're going to like these questions. It's very straightforward. Favorite color?
Pink, light pink.
Oh. Favorite food?
French fries. I love French fries.
Oh, wow. Let me rephrase this question. Favorite Italian food?
Pizza. The margherita pizza. That's my favorite one.
I love margherita pizza. Pizza and French fries go well together.
Yes, that's true.
Favorite animal?
Butterfly. I always wear a butterfly or a cross anytime, all the time. So those are always the 2 things that I bring with me.
Oh, wow. Tell me more about your connection with butterflies, if I may ask you.
Yeah. A few years ago, sadly, my Aunt Anna Marie passed away.
I'm sorry.
And she loves blue butterflies. And now that's something that I always carry with me. On my keys, I have a blue butterfly connected to it. Before every interview for Miss New Jersey or Miss New Jersey's teen, I wear a butterfly charm in my shoe because she always said that she wanted to be in the room where it all begins, and now she gets to be there with me. And now everywhere that I drive, it's also one in my car, so I'm very thankful that I can bring her along wherever I go, and she can help me de-stress.
Yeah, I'm sorry for your loss, but I know she's very, very proud of you. Favorite book?
I would have to say I Got This. That's by Lori Hernandez, and she was a former Olympian in the 2016 Olympics.
Yep, in Rio.
And I got to Yes, you're right. And I got to train with her growing up. So you met Cassie, and I met Lori Hernandez. I think they're both pretty cool.
Yeah, that's wonderful. I mean, I would love to meet Lori Hernandez one day. But definitely right up there with some of the best gymnasts Olympians of all time. Favorite city you've ever visited?
Oh, that's a hard one. I do love Tampa, Florida. That's where I go to school. But I really love New York City. I feel like you can get anything, anywhere. I love the food, and it's just go, go, go. And that's why I want to work there in the future.
All right, very, very, very nice. That's absolutely terrific. Favorite subject?
Well, I would say marketing, but that's not really a four subject. So I would have to say then math. Growing up, that was always my strong suit. And now I'm getting a minor in accounting, so I still love math to this day.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing math. With the right teachers that actually know what they're doing, math can be really, really fun and really, really enjoyable.
That is true.
Favorite music artist?
Ooh. It's crazy, but I do love anything upbeat. So Lady Gaga, and it's crazy because that was my talent song for the last couple of years, Born This Way by Lady Gaga.
Yep.
And it really just lets me go for it. And like every time I feel very confident going on that stage with that song, and that is definitely a song that I always listen to before going on a long run or something like that. But I love all of Lady Gaga's songs.
Yeah. Before I go to my final questions now, you and I have something in common. We're both Libras.
Ah, when's your birthday?
September 28th.
Okay, mine's October 1st.
Yep. So it's nice to meet somebody in the Libra category, and fall babies are the best.
I agree.
Okay, now, what is the lesson and advice do you want to share my audience the following everything that you've been through? What is the lesson and advice you want to share with my audience based on everything you've been through?
It is okay to not look like the person next to you or in front of you, and life is not going to be one straight path. So just because your dream didn't happen on your first go, it's for a reason. And everything happens for a reason. And do not give up on yourself, because you are so much more than you think. And life is going to have all ups and downs, but it's shaping you into the person that you want to become. So go for the gold and never give up on yourself.
Damn right. Absolutely. Additionally, how do you want to use your story and platform to inspire other young girls and women who may be going through the same challenging situation that you went through throughout your life?
Allowing them to realize that they are so much more than they think, and they can be the best athlete they can become. They can go to law school. They can be a doctor. There's so many dreams that young girls have, and they get crushed because someone tells them no. And I want to be that light with this Crown and Sash or with my nonprofit to allow them that it doesn't have to be like that. Struggling with my eating disorder growing up and being the college athlete that I am today, people told me, because I was so weak physically and mentally struggling with my eating disorder, that I would never be physically strong enough to get again to be a college athlete.
Right.
And now look at me. I am on a nationally ranked team that is 9th in the country for acrobatics and tumbling, being a captain of it as well, and competing skills that are almost first time in history. And I would not be who I am today if I did not believe in myself and prove that I'm wrong. And these are stories that I get to share with my nonprofit, with the next generation, to allow them to realize that they can put anything they put their mind to.
That's right. And also I want to add, it's very, very tough when you go through a society where you're constantly told no and saying you can't be this, you can't be that, you got to do this, you got to do that. It's almost a sense of quasi-bullying, like trying to diminish your self-worth, trying to diminish your confidence. And I think it's time that us as young people, to start building a new society to eliminate the stigma against prioritizing mental health. I mean, making you as a statistic that you're not worth it. You can't be this, you can't be that. Dreams are not attainable. We need to set a better example for the younger generation that you can't attain your dreams, but you got to meet with the right people. If you meet with the right people, you have a much better chance of doing what you want to do. And if we start setting better examples and letting kids know anything is possible, then we can create a much better society that works for everybody. And that's what we need to do. And that's part of the reason why I support the Miss America organization, because of things like this. And I'm so grateful to support an organization that I truly believe in, listening to incredible stories, because we know it's more than just a competition. It's more than just beauty and looking beautiful and all that. It's about finding your voice, who you are as a person, and what can I do to make a positive impact on everybody, not only locally but eventually state and eventually on a national level.
Yes,
Which is
I
the
agree.
perfect segue to my final question. How do you want people? I know you still. Before I get to that, I know you still have a long way to go, because you're still very, very young, and you might have like multiple titles before you're through. But I want to ask you this though: how do you want people to remember you? Not as Angelique Cauterucci, Miss Southern Maritime, or other titles you may have had, but as Angelique Cauterucci, the person.
That girl is achieving her dreams and she's helping the next generation to do the same. I want any person that I reach that is 5 years old to 80 years old to realize that an age or a number or what you look like does not define who you are. And that's why, with the help of Miss America, I can reach any type of people and allow them to see that they are so much more than that number on a scale and what someone once said to them. And with all the titles that I've had, and also with Miss America, I want my legacy to be not just me wearing the crown and sash and what I've done, but the legacy of how many young girls I brought into this program. Young women, sponsors, volunteers, because I want to leave everything that I once was in have a better lasting impact. And I'm thankful that already this year I have 3 young girls that just won their first crown and sash, 2 in New Jersey
Yes.
and 1 in Texas for teen titles. And that's something that I'm very thankful for, because they saw me on social media, they wanted to get involved, and that's the legacy that I want to keep allowing young women to have, to allow me to show them that they have a voice and they can find a passion through Miss America.
Damn right. And also, I think nowadays women need to start supporting each other a lot more, because of, after many, many decades of industries being run by so many powerful men, disproportionately white men, and a lot of them old. It's nice to see women standing up for themselves and finding their real voice and defining who they are, not as a local title holder, who they are as a state title holder, and who they are as a national title holder, not just who one person says they can be. And that's what we want. We want every single title holder, regardless of regardless of local, state, and national level. We want them to be themselves, be who they are, because that makes a much more of a positive difference, and makes everywhere in the country so much better. So and also in the end, obviously you're going to support your state title holder of Miss New Jersey, because you're from New Jersey. But I'm going to watch Miss America with an open mind. I think this is a wide open affair, because like all competitions, they're wide open. So you gotta be neutral here. But whoever becomes the next Miss America, I will say this: like Angelique has been saying all along, just be yourself, be true to who you are, and don't. There are going to be lots of haters out there. They'll try to define who you are. Don't let them get to you. Just put your head down, do the work, and come out at the other side as the best version of yourself, and that makes you a real winner.
Exactly.
Well, I'm going to wrap this up here. Angelique, thank you so much for doing this interview with me. And again, I know you're going to be doing some great work in your home state and elsewhere. But I sincerely want to thank you for this wonderful conversation. Final thoughts before I let you go?
I want to say thank you so much, and thank you for having this platform as well and interviewing title holders. I think that's truly amazing, and your platform is going to bloom so much, and I can't wait to see who else comes on and shares their stories as well. So thank you so much for having me.
And with your help, I will make this happen, because I want to build this platform as a means to help people. Because let's face it, other shows in regular media, they're not going around like sharing stories in a more and trying to like make the interviewee come out on a positive side. I want to do these interviews, do this show, so that the person that I'm interviewing comes out on the other side happier, the better version of themselves, and that's what I'm planning to do with this platform, because this platform is about helping people and making a difference. So thank you very much, Angie. Don't go away, because I want you to hear while I say goodbye and say, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for being with us for the Rondane Hollar Report. Again, click the bell to get notifications on new episodes of the Rondane Hollar Report. Again, follow me on Instagram, and you can support me through Venmo. No amount is too big or too small. So thank you very much for joining me, ladies and gentlemen. I'll talk to you all next time on the Rondane Hollar Report. So long, everybody. Take care.